Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Game Dimensions Tekken HEIHACHI. They don't say which Tekken he's from. I don't know enough about Tekken to say which version this is. Maybe he hasn't changed that much throughout the years. Couldn't tell ya. Don't know. Like the character designs, never really got into the game. To me. Anyway, this is kind of like an answer to the new Street Fighter line from Jada, and is it as good? Is it good enough? Is it good at all? There are questions. So, let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. Now, of course, before we get into the figure itself, we have to look at the packaging. I do like the packaging. It's a little less creative than the Street Fighter ones, but it's nice. You get a game render of the character. That's fine. The game, the name, that's all good. Nice big window for the figure. Brand, okay, good. One thing I want to note here is at the very top, it says, oops, I didn't go high enough. It says 4+. And on the very back here, it says for 0 to 3, that would be no good. Small parts and whatnot, not great for kids. Makes sense, right? Right, good. Here's the thing that's interesting about this. I was told that Hasbro has made the claim that they cannot use thin materials because it's not suitable for the age range. And I'm pretty sure, do I have a Hasbro product? I don't have a packaging on hand. I'm pretty sure they have the same age range. This guy has incredibly thin parts on him, so we'll talk about that when we get to it, but this guy comes in at $27, I think, on Amazon, something like that. So right within striking distance of the Marvel Legends line, so definitely fair to make that comparison. Side of the package is boring, more character artwork there, and then the back is okay. I don't like that it's all game stuff and only one shot of the figure, which looks like a prototype because it is. Just doesn't look great. Maybe it's a paint master, doesn't look great. Not the best looking packaging ever. Okay, on to the figure, which is the important part, because if the figure's good and the packaging sucks, who really cares about the packaging? This guy stands just shy of 6.5 inches. That's gonna be just about 16.5 centimeters. So perfectly in scale with the Street Fighter line, at least enough. Here he is up against Marvel Legends, Darwin, there you go. I don't have any of the Street Fighter figures handy, unfortunately, guys, so you have to bear with me, but I did do a height measurement so you can just check for yourself. Okay, so question of the day. Which type of fighting game do you prefer, 3D or 2D? For me, I have to go 2D. I did like Soul Calibur a whole bunch, but more so for the characters and the themes and everything, not really for the fighting itself. I think I'm more of a Street Fighter guy at heart. Okay, so let's talk about the aesthetics on this guy. One thing I have to note is it definitely looks a lot cheaper than the Jada Street Fighter line. Paint is not there. There's no shading anywhere, and it's very plasticky. The skin tones are very shiny. The arms and legs and chest and everything, very shiny. I meant feet. But the legs, too, are also very shiny. They're textured, which is nice. It's definitely a benefit to have the texture. They are pinless too, so that's cool. Nice details, but very shiny. Now the gi, this is the thing I really want to talk about, or the top part, whatever you want to call it. This is not shiny, it is textured, and it's awesome. It's incredibly thin. It's exactly the way you want to make this kind of thing. It's even better than the Jada ones, frankly, even though it's all one piece, so there's downsides. But as far as the thin material with the sculpt and everything, this is wonderful, and it's incredibly thin. And I have said, and what the person was responding to was that Hasbro can do thin, soft materials like this whenever they wanted to, and he said no, they can't because of the age range. Same age range. So either somebody's getting in trouble or Hasbro's lying, which I'm leaning towards that. If they said it, who knows? Alright, but we do have some paintwork back here on his outfit, which is pretty damn wonderful. That's great. And the paintwork that's on his face is clean. No problem with that. It's cleaner than the Jada paintwork. But that's it. His chest has no paintwork, which is unfortunate. It is sculpted, so that helps, but it does look unfinished. It looks pretty darn cheap, especially at $27, even with the goodness that's here, and we'll get to the articulation soon, and the number of accessories. That's all good. I feel like it needs a little bit more work at that price point. Too much plastic look in the skin tone, really, and then the pants. That does hurt it. So I'm going to give the aesthetic rating only a 7. The benefits do balance out with the bad things, but it's not where it needs to be. They need to fix this, at least fix the sheen, but also throw some shading on there somewhere, even a wash or something. Okay, now as far as accessories go, he comes with one fist hand and one open hand on him in the package. You get the alternates to those, so 2 fist hands, 2 open hands, nothing crazy there. You get this effect part, which I had to say is one of the ugliest effect parts I've ever seen. I'm not even sure how to have him hold that properly without it being really, really ugly. But you do get it, so that's okay. And then you get the ready thing for like when a fight's about to start. The ready part's really cool. The stand that is holding it up makes it a little bit less cool, but it's still nice. So accessories are fine. Alternate head would be good at the price point. It's coming in hotter than the Street Fighter line and not as good, so I'm still feeling like it's not quite up to par. And that's not because I have a preference to Street Fighters, just you don't get alternate heads and paints and things like that for the higher money. So anyway, accessory-wise, I'll go 7. It's fine, okay? It's all right. Now, as far as the articulation goes, we have a little bit of a problem in that the head has almost no range on top of the neck because it's just that ball right there that's fixed to the neck. The neck has decent range, but not a ton, and it's kind of ugly. Very gappy for not much range. And then when the head is on there, like, it's okay. It's not bad at all. It's just, it could be so much better. You can't look up or down very far. Down is okay, but up is nothing. It's going to be good enough. You're not going to be like, oh, wow, that's a wonderful neck. You'll be like, it's better than Marvel Legends, but it's not great. Okay? All right. So this, being that it's all one piece, I mean, this is separate, but it's connected. And then this is all one piece. It doesn't come off, all right? But it is super flexible, so I should still be able to show you the articulation pretty well. It even stretches a little bit. The arms are connected via ball peg, no butterfly joint. I'm kind of indifferent about that, although on this guy, the butterfly joint would have been hidden perfectly and would have worked, but I don't care that much about butterflies. But you get a little bit of extra range there, and then the hinge itself is really good. So plenty of range in the shoulder, full rotation of course, bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow, definitely more limited than it should be. They did that to keep the bicep intact. If you cut out a little bit more, you get better range, or you extend the elbow, you get better range. So they went for aesthetics, which is fine. It's a good looking elbow joint, but it doesn't have as much range. Now the wrists are on little ball hinges. They do pop off a little bit too easily, the hands do, but you do get whatever range you can squeak out of that. Again, paint really would have gone a long way for this figure. For the torso, I'm not sure exactly. I think it's just an ab crunch. I can't say for sure, but it does lean back very far and forward pretty far, even with the gi, because it's very, very flexible material. I'm very impressed by this outfit. Yeah, it's just an ab crunch. So that's okay. And then you get your waist twist, which is actually a ball, so it leans more there, side to side and rotation. So pretty good torso, not great thanks to the ab crunch and lack of butterfly joint, but it's not bad. It's still trailing behind the Street Fighter line, but I think it's a good competitor for Hasbro at this point. Okay, and this is a Bandai product, so they should know what they're doing, which, I mean, they do. They could have done better. Okay, so for the crotch, there's the ugly torso joint. You don't need to care about it being ugly because it's hidden, but that's how it works. It's just a big ball. And then we do have, unfortunately, the hinged hips. Let's see how they work. Going all the way out to the side is not a problem. They could be tighter. That's not a function of the hinge, though. That's just the working on the ball right there. So that's okay. Full on splits, though, that's good. Bringing the leg forward. The diaper is still too triangle shaped, so it pushes the legs out to the side too much, technically, but you do get the range. You do have to use the hinge part to get the leg up that far, though, so that's annoying. It works well enough, but it's pretty annoying, pretty gappy. You get a thigh swivel in there, but it's not great. So, yeah, I think it's very cumbersome how thick they made the hips, and then having to deal with the hinge in there. It's just annoying, but it works okay. You won't hate it. Leg doesn't go back too far. Double jointed knees work well enough. Proportioning is okay. Range is good. Pins are not there. Ankles have what's essentially a full-on ball hinge. It's a little weird looking in there, if we can focus. But don't worry about what it looks like because it functions the same as a ball hinge. You get forward and back. Definitely not enough for my liking, especially going forward. There's basically none. But you can rotate it around for a decent ankle rocker, so that's okay. And then no toe hinge. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'll give the articulation a 7. It's fine, but it definitely could be a lot better, and it definitely is trailing the Street Fighter line from Jada, which is unfortunate because it would be cool if these were kind of on par. It's not. It costs more and isn't as good. It's not as refined. This is closer to like a Hasbro product that's been upgraded a little bit. So you're not going to be like, oh, I'm really disappointed. The biggest drawback for me is the shiny plastic and the lack of paint. I don't mind the articulation. I think it'll be good enough. But it does suck that it's not quite as well finished as it could be, especially up against the Jada figures. Because I mean, the first thing people think is fighting games in the same scale. Cool, we can mix them, and you can, but the Street Fighter ones are going to look a whole lot nicer and pose better. So there it is. So I'm going to give this guy a final rating of, for the $27 price point, it's going to get a 7 out of 10. That's reaching pretty high to not have a nice finish on the figure. Even if it wasn't painted and just flat, I'd be more okay with it. But it's not like it's a terrible release and you're going to be super disappointed. That's my 2 cents. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down is going to be okay too. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.